Hey, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And the handle on this one is shiny because I left the shrink wrap plastic on it. So every once in a while, Mark will send me a higher echelon priced knife for review, and this one certainly is. So this is the Takayuki Homura Kengata 225 millimeter knife. And so this knife has a core steel of Aogami Blue blue paper number 2, reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. Guess on the heat treats around 61 Rockwell. This is clad in soft iron on either side, and the iron does come up over the top, so it's an all-reactive blade. And you can see the unique grind and shape of this knife. So you've got an aggressive reverse sword tip on the front, then you've got an aggressive choil on the back as far as the shape kind of mimicking each other. The weight on this knife, it's substantial. It's a very hefty, substantial, thick blade. So 246 grams or 8.7 ounces on the weight. Edge length is about 201 millimeters. So the 225 is really to the end of the blade itself where the tang comes in. So that's kind of an old school style measurement. So the actual cutting edge is about 200 millimeters-ish, 7.9 inches. Overall length about 14.45 inches. The spine thickness is about 3 millimeters coming out of the handle at the back of the blade, and then it's about 2.6-ish halfway down, and then pretty much maintains that. It has kind of a false edge or swedge on it, so it thins out here, but it's still thick overall, and then it thins out with the grind. So it's a very kind of unique tip on it. And no, I have not used this knife. I'm not going to use a $900 knife, so I'm kept it pristine, so I can't tell you about performance, but I do say it has generous grinds on it. So you can see the grind, and you've got, it's not chiseled, but you've got some embossed, filled in kanji on this side. So you can see the very unique grind on this thing. It's super well executed. You can see how crisp that line is there. It's a very nice looking knife. I can get a good shot of it here. This is tricky with all the angles. I want to get a cool shot. Maybe that's about my best one there. And then here's the other side of the blade. So you've got some embossed kanji on that side of the blade as well. Same shape. So very unique on the way they do the tip on this. It does get thin right at the very edge, but you can see there's a lot of meat to that blade. So it's it's a substantial knife. It's very stiff, very, very stiff. It seems to be about 50-50 grind. I'd say the out of the box edge is 5 out of 10. This is one you're going to want to put your own edge on. So you'll do your own edge on this style of blade. The let's see here. The height is 52 millimeters at the back of the blade, and the handle's really cool looking. I'm just going to leave it in plastic wrap for the purchaser of this knife to take that out. But it's got octagonal and it's ebony on the back, and it's really nice figuring on this ebony. It's beautiful. They've got a nickel silver spacer, and then they've got a buffalo horn ferrule on it. So you do feel a little bit of the spacer kind of proud on there because it's metal. It doesn't, shrink at the rate that it doesn't shrink like the wood does a little bit with moisture changes, and it is winter time, so that may plump up a little in the summertime. But anyway, it's just a beautiful, beautiful handle and pretty meaty handle. It's 7.9 millimeters or 3.1 inches in circumference right here where that spacer is. So, it's got some meat to it, but it kind of flows. It fits the knife. It doesn't feel overly large for the style of blade. So this blade has some mass to it. It's got a lot of stiffness to it. It's definitely not a lightweight. Let's see. Obviously, fit and finish is superb on it. You've got a nicely polished spine and choil here. Again, the blade is just beautifully crafted. Let's look at the profile on the cutting board. So fairly flat. Very, very low tip, so this is not a rocker. I'm not going to rock on this thing. Maybe some scallions, but that's about it. And here's the profile. So this will chop probably pretty well towards the back. Push-pull cuts, glide cuts, that kind of stuff. Again, low rocking, that's about it. But very, very unique blade. And Just really, really beautifully crafted, very, very pretty blades. So this is the Takayuki Homura Kengata 225 millimeter knife. Oh, and I don't think I did a balance point on that. Sorry. We'll bring that back here. We'll do another ending at I think I forgot that. So there's your balance point. For me, a pinch grip, which is a nice spot here for your finger for a pinch grip. Pretty close to that balance point, so it's fairly neutral. It's got some heft, but it's neutral in terms of the balance point. Maybe just a touch behind my pinch grip, or pretty close to it. So anyway, we'll finish it off again. Needed to show you that on this thing. So there we have the Takayuki Homura Kengata 225 millimeter knife.